What's good? It's Lot 360, and today we're going to be talking about the North Node going direct in Aries. And the theme for this is going to be going for your spiritual path and spiritual growth and things of those natures. So, when it comes to, before we get into the subject matter, we're going to go over a few of these other alignments and other things and other subsidiaries that's going on in the sky until we get into like 7 or 12 minutes in. So that's going to be like the main discussion with the North Node going direct into Aries, because we're all going to be feeling this intense energy of just wanting to burst free, just wanted to, expand, just wanted to do something new, just wanted to create a new, just go through a new experience. So that's going to be the energy that we're all going to be experiencing macro-wise. Macro-wise. So this is going to be affecting everybody. So keep in mind throughout this video of what house you have Aries in. And also keep in mind that the North Node, it rotates clockwise. So with it going clockwise, that means it's going to be going direct back into Pisces. So it's going to be getting closer to Neptune and Saturn. So keep in mind of those two energy signatures as well when understanding that it's going to be conjuncting Neptune and Saturn if we don't run into another retrograde. But before we fully get into depth of the North Node being in Aries, let's talk about Neptune and Pisces. So with Neptune being in Pisces on 29 degrees, sharing that cusp with Aries, this is also going to be some intense energies that we're going to be bubbling up. But it's in retrograde right now. So we got to make sure that we are understanding the retrograde energies. And the retrograde energies is going to be previous energies that's going to be popping back into our current circumstances and certain situations for us to reconfigure, reconfine, readjust, redo, reorganize, restructure, reevaluate. All those energies is going to be popping back up when it comes to Neptune being in Pisces. So we got to make sure that we're clearing up those energies when it comes to it being on the cusp between Pisces and Aries. So once it goes direct, we'll be able to go for that dream and that imagination and that fantasy and actually be the embodiment of that actual dream, imagination, and fantasy that we was building up the accumulation for in the esoteric realm. So when it comes to, that retrograde energies always bring back past circumstances, situations, people, places, and things, mental forms, and things of those natures. So with it dealing with this Pisces energy, these may be concepts that puts us into the space of things that deals with distractions, things that deals with narratives, things that deals with things that we know we can do better without. So we got to make sure that we're not holding on or clinging on to a distraction and things of those natures and let those energies accumulate where we feel like we can't be able to let go of those things, or we become a slave to those things. We become too reliable to those types of circumstances, situations, and people, places, and things that we don't want to break free, and we end up putting ourselves in a cocoon or a cage. So with this Neptune being in Pisces, these are going to be the energies that we're going to have to kind of reevaluate during this time to kind of see and assess what types of energies we need to be bringing with us, what types of energies we need to be letting go, so that we can be able to, fully be open and free to walk through that Stargate and portal once this energy goes direct. And we won't have so much accumulation of baggages. We won't have so much baggage. We won't have so much, other subsidiaries that's stopping us from fully being capable of going through the transition. So we got to make sure that we're clearing up those things and not getting lost into the distractions, because those distractions that we're catering and clinging on to may be the same things that's holding us back, maybe the same things that plays out like a roadblock in our track, because we may get too comfortable and familiar and been so rooted into these things that we don't see life another way. And these could also play out as like the indoctrinations that we grew up under, especially if you grew up in a religious family, especially when it comes to your living conditions, how you grew up, the type of neighborhood, the type of friends that you had growing up in high school, the type of people that you were surrounded by. You slowly get indoctrinated by these other individuals' ideas and how the shadow government raised some of y'all. So when it comes to those energies, like just growing up under that template, y'all may not have y'all own way of thinking. Y'all may not have y'all own mind. Y'all may not have y'all own way of creating the circumstances truly for you and your spirit that you can start to fulfill and makes your spirit feel comfortable without the peer pressure of other individuals' thoughts and ideas and mental forms clouding up your esoteric space, clouding up your esoteric pearly gates. So you won't be able to fully go for the things that's true for you and make those decisions based on your pure intention. So understanding those energies and understanding that these may be some of the energies that's kind of holding us back, that we may have came to the agreement that, okay, it's life. This is how I grew up. I don't have to change. I don't have to do better for my spirit. I don't have to do better for myself because everybody else is doing it. So that's kind of like you being a follower. You just, doing what everybody else is doing at the moment because that seems lit. That seems what's normal. That's what's convenient. You got to understand that's like a crafted synthetic stimuli that everybody is responding to, that everybody is reacting to, that everybody is being in that space, producing mentalities that bends in and becomes their actions and the way that they see things and the way that others see them. So you also got to check yourself at this time as well when it comes to this retrograde energy with it being Pisces, because it been here for a good minute with it being Pisces. So we've been kind of accumulating circumstances and situations that kind of made us feel a little bit more comfortable than usual, especially when it comes to us going for our dreams and our imaginations and our fantasies and things of those natures. So we got to make sure that we're not just clinging on to old and outdated shapes and forms and mentalities and people, places, and things that may play as a distraction for us to be able to fully go for our actual dreams, imaginations, and fantasies and develop a false ego around ourselves. So we also got to make sure that we're not developing no false egos, no false sense of self, no false sense of spirituality as well, because that Pisces energy is all about spirituality. It's all about emerging into the spiritual realm, emerging into the subconscious. So this has been kind of programming and wiring our subconscious, especially with it being home in Pisces, because keep in mind that Neptune is home in Pisces. So it's going to be looking at this Neptune energy like, okay, we're going to be looking at this Neptune energy like, okay, I may have been experiencing the right things, but once it goes direct, that veil is going to get lifted over our eyes, and then we're going to realize that we may have been experiencing and interacting and participating with the wrong individuals, people, places, and things. So just understanding those energies and understanding those qualities that can come from Neptune being in Pisces, and with it being home in Pisces, and with it building up in this energy for a good time. So these may be energies that we may be scared to break free from. These may be energies that we may be scared to expand on, but we got to know that it's going to be necessary at the end of the day if we want to be able to walk through that stargate in that portal and be able to reach a successful position in our life. So those are going to be the energies that we're going to be experiencing. And keep in mind that we're also going to have another retrograde in the sky. So with this other retrograde, this is going to be taking place between Pluto, Aquarius and Capricorn, and with it, being in Pluto at 0 degrees. So that 0 degrees, it symbolizes in numerology and gematria, it's like a new space before we make that wound dirty. So we're going to be all in this new space, but we're going to be looking at this new space, and it's going to be, we're all going to be in a new space, but it's going to be dealing with previous circumstances and situations that we already may have been in before, but now we have to do it right this time. So the better that we're able to do this energy right this time, then that's going to be us showing the universe and all possibilities that we're ready to take the next step. We're ready for the next test that the universe throws us. So the better that we can be able to do this energy right this time with Pluto and Capricorn. So understanding the qualities of Pluto, understanding the qualities of Aquarius, and understanding the qualities of Capricorn, these are going to be all the energies that we're going to have to transform and take power control over. So when it comes to Pluto being in Aquarius, on the cusp between Aquarius and Capricorn, these are going to be the energies that we're going to be kind of feeling. So things that's going to be dealing with our associations, things that's going to be dealing with our business, things that's going to be dealing with how we conduct ourselves in the public arena, entrepreneur type of energies. So we're all going to be trying to take power and control, and we're all going to be trying to transform the way that we have a network, the way that we have a conducted business, because we know that the way that business is being conducted, everything is online right now. So that's how we kind of got to get the program, being able to hop online and present our business, present what we want to be known for, present how we want to conduct ourselves, and that can become our popularity, and start to associate those ideas with like-minded individuals, so we can start to build community, so we can start to build a rapport, so we can start to build things actuality. Because keep in mind that it's Capricorn energy and it's Earth energy also wants us to participate in real life. So when it comes to, us going through these energies, and with Pluto being here, in whatever house you got Pluto in, these are the energies that you're going to have to kind of transform and take power and control of before it take power and control over you. So Pluto being on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, this is going to be us having to start to associate ourselves with like-minded individuals and start to build on these templates, start to build on these things. And it's going to be creating a sextile with that Neptune energy. So that Neptune energy is going to be creating an opportunity for us to be able to align those energies when it comes to building with like-minded individuals that share the same common interests, so we can be able to be our unique selves and original selves around these people, places, and things, so we can start to innovate when it comes to things that deals with being able to align those people, places, and things and circumstances with our dreams, imaginations, and fantasies, and also things that symbolizes our personality, and also things that symbolizes, our common interests and passions and motivations and goals and desires and things of those natures. So those are going to be the energies that we're going to be having to align, so we can be able to create this opportunity, so we can be able to see that opportunity and walk through that Stargate in that portal, and these two things can support each other. So those are going to be the energies that we're going to be feeling, and those are going to be, more of the outer planets as well. So the outer planets is going to consist on, things that deals with more longevity, long-term goals that we need to be setting, long-term types of circumstances and situations we need to be carving out for ourselves. So it's going to be taking us to how to understand these energies and not get thrown off track, not getting misdirected, not getting misguided, because the rest of the population and other people, places, and things, not other people, but the rest of the population and other people, when it comes to humanity, this is the direction that the shadow government is kind of utilizing these energies to steer society in a specific direction. So we're all getting steered in this specific direction. But how you gonna do it? Is you gonna do it for you? Is you gonna take the wheel, or are you gonna let Jesus take the wheel? So it all comes up to you at the end of the day. So you got to make sure that you're taking the wheel and you're being the spiritual alchemist, utilizing your alchemy and creating these circumstances for you, so that you can have something to stand on into this 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, instead of you flocking with the same birds or the same feathers, getting lost into the narratives and the distractions that the shadow government is broadcasting through social media and things of those natures. Next thing you know, you taking a job. Next thing you know, you believe in COVID. Next thing you know, you voted. So be mindful of those energies and making sure that you're understanding these energies for yourself. So when you go outside and start to participate in the world, the way your mentality is structured is different from the rest of these humans, because they're just going with the flow, like with a pet, doing things that's convenient, doing things that make them docile, doing things that other people are doing because they're followers, they're sheep. So you have to be the leader. You have to be the one to pioneer and cultivate something new. You have to be the one innovating new things down here. You have to be the one bringing newness into this realm of reality, so God can be able to hop into that shape and form, hop into that vessel, and use you as a vessel to experience something new that it never experienced before. So keep that in mind as well when going through these energies, and just when participating with the world, not getting lost into the current events of the world, and stand above the current. And then we're also going to be having Mercury retrograde in Leo. So when it comes to Mercury retrograde in Leo, this is going to be what are you paying attention to before it goes direct. So with it being a Leo, what are you setting the stage for right now? What are you paying attention to? What are you giving your attention to? What are you trying to receive attention from? What are you trying to get validated on? So these need to be the questions that we need to be asking ourselves with Mercury being a Leo. Am I expressing myself in the right way? Am I expressing myself genuinely? Am I expressing myself, you know, with integrity? Am I expressing myself self-centered? Am I expressing myself narcissistic? Am I attention seeking right now? So these are the types of questions that we need to be asking ourselves before this energy goes direct. So once we set that stage, that world stage, and start to present ourselves on that stage, we'll have it together. We'll have ourselves together in that space when it goes back home into Virgo. So we won't have to worry about looking in the back seat or looking over our shoulders or looking behind us, because we took care of the energies that we needed to take care of and set the stage for whatever we're gonna start to work on, getting ready to go into the fall portion of this cycle, these cycles, the fall portion of the season. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the equinox, the fall portion of the equinox. But yeah, those are going to be the energies that we're going to have to kind of set stage for and start to actually, start express those ideas. Set the stage where those ideas can be conveyed. Set the stage where those ideas that you got on your mind can start to get worked on and start to get perfected. You know what I'm saying? So you can start to plant and plan when it comes to, Virgo energy and Virgo qualities and Mercury going there. Things that you're thinking about, things that you're communicating, things that you're trying to get some form of attention from, and things that deals with those types of energies while it's in Leo. And then we're also going to be having, Uranus and Taurus. So with Uranus being in Taurus, we're 17 minutes in for touch bases on Uranus and Taurus, and we're going to fully hop into this energy. So with Uranus being in Taurus, this is going to be the changes that we're going to be going through. So we're all going to be having to, change, rebel, and oppose against old and outdated ways of going about whatever qualities Taurus represents. So this is going to be things that's going to be dealing with our security, our stability, our safety, our shelter, and how we gain structure and how we be able to maintain that comfortability. So with Uranus being a Taurus, these are the energies that we're going to be feeling like we need to change, rebel, and oppose against, so we can come up with a new, unique way of being able to obtain these energies, of being able to create some form of security, stability, safety, and shelter that resonates more with our gifts and our talents and what we plant seeds in to build our self-esteem and things of those natures. So those are going to be the energies that we're going to be experiencing as well. And with that being more outer ancestral, cycle phase that we go through, it's going to be taking more of a longer time. But that energy is getting ready to go into Gemini. It's getting ready to progress into Gemini. So take that archetype of Uranus, take those qualities of Uranus, and then put it into Gemini. And then that's where we're going to be changing, rebelling, and opposing against some form of intellect, some form of communication, what was familiar, and things that deals with our friends and our environment, and things of those natures, because those things may be playing out energies of being old and outdated. And then also with the North Node being direct, we're all going to be wanting to be in a space of experiencing something new. We're all going to be in a space of wanting to do new things now, because the old way we was going about things may not have been fulfilling us, but we may have just been doing those things because we had access at the time to do those things. So those are going to be the energies that we're going to be feeling, and those are going to be the energies that we're going to start to plant the seeds in and go through that space, go through that virgin space. But yeah, now let's get into this North Node direct in Aries. So with the North Node being direct in Aries, this is going to be the energy that we're all going to be feeling in the sky. So we're all going to be wanting to initiate something new. So we're all going to be in a space of wanting to initiate something new when it comes to our spiritual path and our purpose. Because when it was in retrograde, this was like the test from the universe to show us and for us to kind of reevaluate and reanalyze and redo energies that deals with, okay, are we able to fend for ourselves now? Are we able to do for ourselves now? Are we able to be self-sufficient? Are we able to be independent? Are we able to stand alone? So those was the types of circumstances that this energy was creating for us to be able to, actually come up with the right ideas on how to be able to go about those energies and obtain those energies, so that we can go through those uncomfortable circumstances and situations, so we can be able to learn our capabilities and incapabilities. And we should have already been going through those places of ups and downs, going through the uncomfortable and unfamiliar circumstances and situations, to be able to see and carve out our capabilities and our incapabilities when it comes to us being able to do things alone, us being a little bit more self-sufficient, and being able to be independent in these times. So if we haven't, then we may have been planting bad seeds. We may still be clinging on to familiar people, places, and things in shapes and forms, and scared or afraid to hop off the porch, scared or afraid to leave the nest. But if you have been planting bad, but if you've been planting good seeds, you're going to be feeling this energy of, okay, you've been building up back pocketing energy. You've been building up the right energy. Now it's all in your hands. So whatever decision you make, you don't have anything holding you back. You don't have anything weighing you down. You don't have any person, place, or thing, or obligation or responsibility stopping you from going for your purpose. So that's if you've been planting good seeds. And once you go into that space, that new awareness, and start to produce new Adams and Eves, thoughts and feelings, mentalities in that new space, to make it dirty, to make it bloody. So those mentalities can condense and become your actions, your blood flow, your adrenaline, how you move, your vibe, and things of those natures. And you start to attract and manifest those circumstances and situations. This is going to be you being open for all possibilities to pour into your world, to pour into you, and all the things that you need to experience, because you're ready. So this is going to be energy like, you ready to lead the nest. You ready to do things by yourself. You ready to stand up. You ready to be independent. And these similar things, people, places, and things, it may be time to let those things go. It may be time to grow. It may be time to get out of that old cocoon, because your spirit is way more broader. Your spirit is way more expansive in these similar shapes and forms. So you pass the test. You're ready for something. You're ready to experience something new. It's like a baby. That's why I put that baby in mind. That's why I put that baby. It's like a baby. So you a baby getting ready to become an adult. So the baby represents that new space that you're ready, that you finna start emanating thoughts and feelings into. And once you the adult, you become an adult superhero. That's you going through the experiences, accumulating the right experiences, circumstances, and situations to know how to, go about being in that new space. So baby, new space, the adult, you become an adult in that new space, developing the right thoughts and feelings, going through that new space. But yeah, so those are going to be the energies that we're all going to be experiencing right now. And those are going to be the energies depending if you've been planting the right seeds or if you've been planting negative seeds. So if you've been planting the right seeds, you're going to be feeling this energy like, okay, I'm ready to go through this new space and this new experience. And I have the right back pocketing energy to be able to sustain myself in this new space. But if you've been planting negative seeds, this energy may be kind of making you feel scared, or still clinging on to things of familiarity, still clinging on to things of, that gives you that comfortability. But eventually, if you're not trying to, align yourself with these energies, that's going to end up putting you in a catastrophic moment, because that's going to be like some energy of you not trying to expand. You're not trying to try nothing new. You're trying to be in a routine or a pattern. So your spirit by default is going to put you through a catastrophic moment, so that you can go through that North Node circumstance and situation, so that you can start to carve out your, capabilities and your incapabilities. So you got to make sure that you're not letting the past or getting too consumed or getting too comfortable with what's familiar right now, because we all have to go through this transition. So it's not about what you're doing, it's about how you do it. So how you gonna go about this transition? How you gonna go about going into this new space? How you gonna go about going for your spiritual path and your purpose? How are you gonna do it? Are you ready? Is you independent? Is you Miss Independent? Or do you still need these things to cling on to because it represents familiarity and comfortability? Because it's getting ready to invert itself for all of us. These energies as above is getting ready to invert itself. So it's always good to be prepared and know what you need to set your intentions on. But you don't have to jump right now. So keep in mind, you ain't got to jump for nothing right now. Just plan, structure, take your time, but just know it's time to go into a new space. It's time for all of us to go into a new space. It's time for all of us to try new things. It's time for all of us to be a new individual. It's time for all of us to do something new in our life. And we all gonna be feeling it. Just know that, you know, it's the energies as above just affecting you. Just wanting you to start new things for yourself. Start to do new things. Start to do things that resonates with your purpose, and letting your purpose carve out that circumstance in that scenario for you. So keep that in mind as well. And then I want to touch bases on one more alignment that's going to be going on. So this is going to be the sun squaring off of Mars. But that's like basically, you know, that's basically the North Node going direct in Aries and it's going clockwise. So the energies that we accumulate now and the energies that we be able to sustain ourselves in now, once they go into Pisces, then we're going to be able to expand on those energies. So we got to make sure that we're not playing small leader. We got to make sure that we're dreaming big out here. We can't be thinking small-minded. We can't be thinking limited. We can't be lost into these constructs and those conditions. We got to make sure that we're dreaming big and we're thinking big. And that's another thing I just had to say. You know, got to make sure we're thinking big, dreaming big. And then the sun's going off of Mars and Gemini. Well, these going to be some energies that we're going to be experiencing now because the sun is in Virgo and Mars is in Gemini. So with these energies that we're going to be experiencing now, you know, this is going to be us having to work smarter, not harder. So these are going to be the learning processes that we're going to be going through to kind of put us in these scenarios to show us that we need to start to carve out circumstances and situations where we're working smarter and not harder, because we may be working too hard, we may be putting too much on our plate, we may be handling too many responsibilities that our spirit isn't ready for, and that may apply as like some energies of, you know, weighing our spirit down or creating organ illnesses and things of those natures. So we can come up with better ideas and more sufficient ways of being able to carve out things that we got on routine and a pattern, so we don't end up, you know, outweighing ourselves or overwhelming ourselves during this time. So we got to make sure that we're working smarter and not harder as well when it comes to being able to align our actions and our viewpoints with our passions and our motivations and our goals and our desires. And these are those natures. But yeah, it's been a lot 360. Hope you enjoyed this video. And you know, go for your spiritual path. Don't be scared. But make sure that you're taking the practical steps. Make sure that you know, understand the energies as above. So you just won't be so naive going through these energies, but you'll still have discernment while going through these energies. But yeah, it's been your Life 360. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate all y'all. Peace.